Welcome back, everybody. We're here in almost the second life, Final Fantasy XIV once again. We're simply finishing up our fishing journey to 50 here in this video. We're gonna do one more provision quest here, which is going to be, they call it Place, I guess? And apparently that's over at the Isle of Umbras, over in the western part of this area. So, we're gonna go ahead and make our way over that way. I don't know which one would be a better spot, so we'll just pick one. We're gonna be flying over there anyways, probably. Yeah, all the experience, that was like over 400,000 experience. That we shouldn't have any issue of like getting right to 50 and getting to our quest. Maybe we'll get our experience up to maybe like half the bar here, but otherwise I think we should be pretty fine. We're going to be heading for the ship graveyard, which is on that island to the north, or southwest, on that southern red little spin, actually. So it works out fairly well for us. I'm not actually sure if we can just straight up, okay, I assume we can. I assume we can just go flying right over here. I think normally you're supposed to ferry over here, but since they made it to where you can fly in these zones now, I guess that you could just skip that and go right over here. It's actually been ages since I've been here. I only went here like once and then just never came back. There's not really a big reason to come back, I guess, is the reason. And since this fishing spot here has this fish, I figured I'd go ahead and just get it here. We're not going to have any issue with the enemies here. We're too high level for them, so that's good. Oh yeah, okay, there we go. Go ahead and use patience, and we'll go ahead and knock off. So we needed a glowworm for that. I actually ended up getting that off screen just to save a bit of time. But it's a level 45 bait, and it's needed for getting what we needed here. It's one of a couple things we could have used, but this was the easiest one to get. Hook set. It didn't seem like, from what I looked up about the fish, that I needed to mooch for it, so it should just come up by itself. Got a mummer rice, whatever that is. Okay. We have another day where the food effect is higher than it usually is, so that works out for us too. Oh, that's a large one. Oh, we got it, a place. That's very nice. Good chunk of experience right there. We'll go ahead and use one of our food items, I guess, because no reason not to. But yeah, we got our thing, but I also want to keep on going for a bit longer. Like I said, I kind of want to get, like, at least halfway on the experience bar here, because, I think that'll be just enough for us to get level 50 off of the one fish that we have, so... Because the amount was like 400-something experience for it. So we definitely would get the level up to 49, but I don't know if we'd finish it all the way to 50 at the moment, so I do want to try and keep on going for a little bit longer. I remember the first time I was here it was foggy. It kind of still is foggy in a way. I guess that's just normal for this area. I think it was also like nighttime or something, so it was even darker. Because this definitely looks brighter than what I remember. Oh, another mummer race, that's nice. There's also, I think, a dungeon here that I don't actually know if I ever did. Legitimately don't know if I did that dungeon or not there. This is a nice overall spot, though. If I get a large one right here, I'll be able to go ahead and use Deluxe Bounty again, or Deluxe Favor, whatever. It wasn't a, oh, we got a map. That's different. Very curious indeed. Let's go and decipher it, why not? I already have a treasure map. Where do I have a treasure map from? I'm actually not sure on that. Oh, I have one right here. Huh. I don't know, maybe I'll have to take a look at that further later on. Our GP is almost up to 200 again. A Gobi! Yay! Gobi! Why not? I'm just watching this other guy kind of like run around here. Guess he's probably a Lancer or a Dragoon or something. Oh, I don't want to forget about our little light. Can't actually use... Yeah, we lost that one. Now we can get it, though. Really like a large one, because then I'd be able to use stuff like Favor again and get a bunch of my GP back. Come on, large one. That's not large. It's a new one at least. Got a little bit of a bonus from that, I guess. I'm not sure what makeshift bait does. I haven't actually tried it. Oh, here's a large one. Nice. I can use Talik's Favor. There we go. Get a bunch of my stuff back. We'll go ahead and go one more round for buff and see if we get a little bit more experience from this. Otherwise, I think it'll be about time for us to leave. Okay, we'll mooch that for sure. Pretty much worth nothing to us at the moment, so hopefully we'll get something decent with mooching it. Don't fail me now. It's not a large, but... Oh, wahoo, that's a new one at least. Nice little 10,000 there. Alright, I think we're about done. We'll go ahead and head back. With this, the 400-something thousand that we're going to get should be enough to cover us to 50, I think. If not, it's going to be like a ridiculously small amount we'll need. Only took us about 10 minutes overall. I should probably check out these levels I have here for the Maelstrom stuff as well. I think those are for like Beast Tribe quests and stuff like that. There we go. And there we go, level 50. Fishing and regional folklore. There exist certain fishing holes that are hidden in plain sight and can only be found after reading the detailed descriptions found in tomes of regional folklore. You could discern which fish can be found in these elusive fishing holes by viewing your fishing log. Interesting. Yep, level 50. That's exactly where we wanted to be, so... And it suddenly turned very dark. Guess it's raining now. Let's see what they got for us, I guess. Alright, we got a blue one. That's nice. Very nice. Let me see what I'm gonna get for needing... I guess it's the body again. Yeah, the body is the lowest amount I have. I don't actually have a thing here for a body this time. That's unfortunate. What will be the next lowest then? Let's see. Would be the legs, I guess. God, this is unbelievable. According to the age-old adage, when the going gets tough, the tough go fishing. Unfortunately, the adage is of little use when the tough going happens to be a fishing ban. You haven't heard, have you? XIV has closed all docks and ports for fishing vessels on the authority of Admiral Melbub. Some sorry sailor is supposed to spotted a serpent at sea, and so Salavison stated that for our safety, all of our services must cease. It's all so frustrating. Well, we may be a group of sedentary fishers. We're not about to take this sitting down. First, we'll need to know what we're up against. The Bagro Consortium maintains ties to the Maelstrom, so Sybil may know something we do not. It's time to go fishing for information. So finally we get something dramatic in this storyline. It's certainly a pleasure to see you again, though I wish it was under happier circumstances. The news came as a shock to us as well. Any Lemosian has been born a boat has heard the tale. Back when the world was not but a dry, lifeless rock, Lemilian created a giant serpent. From its massive maw, the creature spat forth water until the land was filled. But it would not stop. To prevent the world from being completely submerged, the navigator trapped the serpent in a floating island with the warning that if ever be freed, the seas would rise until the world ended. This is where the Thassarucratic motto, "Till sea swallows all," comes. You can imagine the Admiral's surprise upon learning a sailor claims to have actually seen the serpent in question. While you and I may recognize it as a fairy tale aimed to scare children, the panic in the streets is real, and so Safiusen hasn't had any choice but to take drastic measures in order to maintain the peace. Regrettably, those drastic measures have dire consequences for both your guild and my consortium. And the Maelstrom is too occupied of ship aggregations to conduct a proper inquiry, meaning our only hope is to take matters into our own firm yet supple hands. Ahem. It may be impossible to prove the sea serpent does not exist, but perhaps the testimony of eyewitness could be impunged. I believe that you have met the sailor responsible for the sighting, the one known as Chochurun. Chochurun seem to be fish at sea. Some say sea serpent. Chochurun just want to fish, see fishermen a while ago about fishing fish in sea. Let's see then. Let's see if our guildmaster can help us for once. I've seen enough at sea to know when sailors are seeing things, and what Chochurun saw was no sea serpent for sure. Missing your marks will make mountains out of molehills. Distances deceive and delude the minds of men at sea. My money says your serpent is a Maslian marlin, a finely big fish, but by no means a monster. You can see them barreling back and forth along the north of Bloodshore. But if spied from the shore, people will just shrug their shoulders. You need to make them meet the marlin up close and personal. I'll admit, it's easier expressed than executed, and I've never nabbed one. If you don't loosen up your line, they'll rip your ward right out of your hands. But first you need a bite. They don't waste their breath on worms from other waters. Mullets and marlin demand mooching, more familiar to you as fish wheeling, perhaps. Not just any act of mooching, but the doughty duty of the dramatic double mooch. I reckon you're ready for it. Get a goby ball and hold it in a harbor herring. Once you've hitched your herring, offer it up to the org or barracuda, and then bait that beast to make the mullets and marlin bite. Makes me want to sail out myself, but Sylvanson would slay any guildmaster who slights him. Besides, I'm sure Sisapu would rather see you succeed at it. Okay, so we need the goby ball. We have some goby balls, don't we? Yeah, we do. We have 200 of them, so no issue there. So we need to go out to North Bloodshore, I think it was. Okay, let's find out where Bloodshore is then. Let's see. Bloodshore, Bloodshore. We'll find it eventually, no doubt. Aha, here's Bloodshore. It's over in the eastern area. So we want to go to Coastal del Sol, it looks like. So we're heading to Bloodshore. Okay. Let's go as far as we can, why not? So we need to double mooch this. We needed a... Okay, North Bloodshore. Okay, that's a different one. Is this... Alright, well we got South Bloodshore here, so we need to keep on going this way then. Yeah, let me look at my fishing log, because this will tell me... Okay, so we need to go up, like, way up there then for the northern version, I imagine. Because we already fished over here off of Coastal del Sol, so that's definitely not it. Fish off of here and see where that gets us. I believe this will be North Bloodshore, I'm pretty sure. So this may be a bit tougher just because of the fact that it's going to be like... Okay, we did get a harbor herring. It was not big enough to mooch though. So let's go ahead and go into patience here. And see if we can't get a bigger harbor herring then. So the bad thing about mooching is that they almost never give you a large fish from it though. Like the first mooch I usually always get a non-large fish after mooching, so it's going to be difficult to land it back to back, I think. So we got the harbor herring, we got the mooch for it. Now we need the barracuda. If we're lucky, we'll get a large one, but it's usually difficult to get it. Let's hope this is the barracuda. That's a large one. That's a barracuda, let's do it! Really hope we get the marlin. Let's see if we'll get it. That was a big one. That looks like we got it, though. We got it. We got the marlin. That's the first one we got. That was 3 exclamation points that we actually caught. Looks like we must have had just enough for the stats, I assume. Because I honestly thought 3 exclamation points usually meant that we couldn't get it. So it looks like we managed to get exactly what we needed very quickly, which is super nice for once. I'm very happy with that. How much experience is this going to give us? 210. We'll be under 51, but I kind of, like, I'm not too worried about that, I guess. Let's go and head on back. Alright. Depending on what happens next, this may be a very short video in general. Okay, I can't believe we're reduced to this. Still, while Wildlogo's never been right for running a guild, he's never been wrong about a fish. If he says our serpent is a Mazia the Marlin, that's what it is. That's the Marlin? I can see how someone might mistake it for a monster. Hopefully, Cesar will see it the same. Come, Sisbill arranged for us to speak with the Grand Storm Marshal. So many moons has it been, I can scarcely remember the last time I boarded a merchant ship for anything other than an inspection. Quite careful indeed aboard the luxurious fleet of the Bogrero Conservatorium. No doubt to put crooked mongers and traffickers at ease while making illicit deals at sea. Perish the thought, we would never dream of calling the Grand Storm Marshal to a vessel for such roguery took place. A shame, I imagine those sort of vessels were the most fun. I suppose we then tend to business. Of course, sir. Let me introduce you to the Mazila Marlin. Great Limzon's Bagos. The blurry thing's massive. However did you catch it? I suppose it doesn't matter. At any rate, it is your contention that this Marlin is our sea serpent. You can sing yourself to sleep with that silly sea serpent story, but still won't hold water. I knew things were proceeding too smoothly. You always know just the wrong time to act a guildmaster, don't you? Never you mind. I've known Wildlogo long enough not to mind his manners. Unlike his fish, I know when I'm being baited. Boy, you've been baiting and bullying us with your band. Will you let up and left it? A fine question, to lift the fishing ban, or not to lift the fishing ban. What to do, what to do, what to do. On one hand, I could lift the ban, but on the other... Now, who's the one baiting? Why not? Of course, there are formalities we must observe, so I'm afraid the declaration will have to wait until tomorrow. And the ban will be lifted, won't it? Unless you prefer it weren't. By no means, it's just I feared that simply bringing you a large fish might fail to serve as adequate evidence in overthrowing a formal military promulgation. Well, I never really believed all this sea silliness in the first place. It was more about putting Limbus's minds at ease than anything else. The morning you brought me should accomplish just that. Few of our more paranoid conspiracy theorists in the Maelstrom alleged the serpent to be part of an elaborate Sahagin plot, so this should make a nice laugh at their expense as well. And to think this all started because someone spotted a large fish. And because fishtails are wont to grow in size, the large fish became serpent size and then ceased to be a fish altogether. Makes you wonder about what other sorts of overblown fantasies we'll all have been led to believe. Sounds like you're ready to lift the ban whenever we brought you to Marlin or not. If only it were that simple, a Grand Storm Marshal I would have been if I went lifting bans willy-nilly without any evidence the problem has been solved. This Marlin is essential to assuaging the irrational fears of the public. Well, then I suppose Narn's efforts weren't for naught, after all. I only wonder how the fish tail grew out of proportion in the first place. I don't delight in delving details, but that deed might have been my doing. Why am I not surprised? When I mentioned the treachery and that the Mazalan Marlin was a monster, I meant it metaphorically, but mayhap he misunderstood. I think it would have been in the best interest of all involved if I don't hear any more of this story. Maelstrom expresses his gratitude for your efforts in bringing this evidence to light. Your guild will be notified when the fishing ban is formally lifted. I bid you good day. That really was a giant darn fish there. Wowzer. Okay. Terrifying to think a little exaggeration could get out of hand, particularly when you consider how often fishermen exaggerate. But it sounds like Sophison knew exactly it was all fishy all along. Nevertheless, you saved our guild from destruction at the hands of an imaginary sea serpent. Funny how Nimlokia delivered you to our doorstep just when we needed you most. I certainly can't consider you a guppy anymore, now that you've caught a marlin the Grandmaster himself had never quite reeled in. I'd say we name you Guildmaster, but then while ago would have nothing to dodge. I'm not ready to let that fish off the hook so easily. I suppose we could at least let him know he has a rival. And that might be your finest fishing accomplishment of all, luring Wallago back to work. And there we go. And immediately already we have another quest here, but this will lead us straight into Heavensward because it just told us that the baseline questing is done. So let me go ahead and pop on this new fishing rod. And then the leggings as well, there we go. And then this is going to be our how do I make a new one? That's alright, okay. So yeah, we got Fisher now. Alright. So yeah, we made it to level 50 fishing. I'm happy with that. So at this point, we are... Where are my classes and jobs? We're 50 in miner and 50 in fisher. So the last one of the Decisive of the Hands is the botanist, and we could probably start that one off next, because honestly, may as well just get 50 in all three of them, right? Then after that, we can work on something else, and then come back to level those up later. So I'm probably not going to start on the Disciples of the Hands quest right away now, after I've done like 3 of these Disciple of Lands ones. I'll probably go back to a fighting quest of some sort, and work on that. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed the fishing quest. It was a little bit more, more of a casual quest line than even the mining one was. The mining one kind of did have like a whole like corruption angle going for it, and this one really was pretty laid back until the very last quest, so... Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys next time, where we'll start on picking berries and whatnot, so see you then.